When they got home, Miss Lucy was very excited. The tree was in place, and Miss Lucy put the same old angel on the top of the tree they had used when she was a child. By 9 o'clock, there the tree stood, covered with gorgeous bright balls and silver icicles, and strung with lights with candy canes on the lower branches for the baby. Miss Lucy was so tired. She was no sooner in bed than asleep, and she slept so soundly that Mitzi had to wake her up in the morning. "The young gentleman is here," Mitzi explained. Miss Lucy got downstairs in a hurry. Chester was standing in the parlor, staring at the tree with excited eyes. "I knew you would have the best tree," he said. Miss Lucy glowed with pride. "Would you like to have breakfast with me?" she said. Chester said politely, "I will be glad to keep you company." But before they had finished, there was a policeman with a summons. Miss Lucy had to appear in the police court at 10 o'clock. "Have you been arrested?" Chester asked, with eager interest. "Yes," said Miss Lucy. "Arthur and I got a ticket for parking too long on Front Street, but I will be home before you get here with the baby." Miss Lucy dropped off Chester at his home and headed to the court. The court was crowded. They had to wait. The judge was scolding and fining everyone. "Miss Lucy Quinn," said the judge, "parking on Front Street for 45 minutes. You are the last person I expected to see in this court, Miss Lucy." "Yes, Your Honor. I will pay my fine." $7, said the judge, "and I want to speak to you in the chambers." Miss Lucy paid her fine and went into the judge's little room. When the door closed, he shook hands with her, his eyes twinkling. "So you have a Christmas tree, Miss Lucy," he said. "My wife and I were speaking about you the other day. We haven't seen you in years." "Why don't you come to call on me and see my tree?" said Miss Lucy Quinn. "We'll be glad to do it," Judge Hennessy answered. "My father didn't like you, I know," said Miss Lucy. "But then, he had the prejudices of his day and age. This is a fine new world we are living in, Thomas. Tell me, is Deborah as pretty as she used to be?" "She's a handsome woman yet," said Judge Hennessy, "and she has always admired you. We will come to see you, Miss Lucy." At home, Miss Lucy went up to her room and got the gifts she had purchased for Mitzi and Arthur and put them under the tree. Chester arrived with the baby. She had red cheeks and bright blue eyes and silky, soft, fair hair. Miss Lucy lifted her and sat in the parlor with the baby in her lap. But the baby went straight for the tree, grabbed one of the candy canes, and stuffed it in her mouth. Finally, Arthur took Marie and Chester home in the car. Miss Lucy toiled upstairs to her nap. When she came downstairs again, she saw the evening paper lying near the fireplace. She opened the paper, and there on the first page was a picture of Miss Lucy and Judge Hennessy. "Society leader at traffic court," it read. The article told a great deal about her family, about her position as the titular head of the local society, and went on about how simple everything would be if people stepped up and paid their fines instead of using their influence. Just then, there was a call from Mr. Henderson, the family lawyer. He said that Miss Lucy should have called him. She didn't have to appear in court. "It was no trouble at all," said Miss Lucy. She asked after Mr. Henderson and his wife's health. She also agreed to go to the Hendersons to dinner the following Tuesday.